evening, everyone. It's Shay Seeking, and we're back. So, I have been looking into something that I thought was very interesting. And again, on this channel, it's just we have fun with looking at his story, her story, meaning antediluvian style history. Just years worth of looking into all of these things in different aspects and different ways, and seeing as though many things that we think may have been somewhere else may have actually been somewhere else. So, um, yeah, so we're just looking at the palm, right? Okay. Palm, again, I always think Psalms. And um, when it comes to this region or area, for some reason in my mind's eye, I see the southern portion possibly of the Americas. Not just saying that I'm just seeing that, but there's different things. Again, you will have to go throughout the channel. There's a lot of information. We took a lot of time looking into these kind of things in the past. So I have my opinion formed uh, as to what I feel. Um, and again, I just put stuff up here, and if someone has something to add or something that they may uh, see, that would be cool. But again, I'm not here to tell you what it is or what it ain't. I'm just simply sharing what it looks like to me. All right. So, um, so yeah, it's talking about the palm here, and um, I don't know. I guess it was just different things that have been going on that I've been seeing. Um, that I don't know, had me wanting to look into it. So this is something on Wikipedia or Wikipedia, and we're just gonna look at it just to see if anything stands out. Um, because automatically, well, okay, forget it. Well, let's just read what it says. It says the palm branch is a symbol of victory, triumphant peace, and eternal life, originating in ancient Near East and Mediterranean world. The palm or phoenix was a sacred Mesopotamian religions. Apologies, and in ancient Egypt, representing immorality. And again, it's okay to look at, like, so I'm not telling you that this is what I believe in or anything. We're just looking at information as if we are doing an investigation on ancient information, because again, I think a lot of the ancient things that we think were written about those particular people are actually talking about and portraying things that are going to be happening in these times. So we just look at it and just, that's it. It's fun. Hopefully it's something that'll make you think, or something that'll like make a light bulb go off, and then that's it you know so again, we would have to know that in the beginning, like we're finding out that the American Indians, or so-called black people, were already here in the Americas prior to 1492. And other groups as well. I'm just stating this because this has been left out of our story. Okay. And not to say that no one came here from so-called Africa, but again, I feel like there was a portion of that here as well. So again, that I've witnessed on old maps and things like that, where again, times change, places change, things change, so on and so forth. Okay. So this is just for people that already are deep in alternative information. See, and they already see things on this other different type of spectrum. So, oh, what I was saying was, so then if we had a form of Ethiopia, Egypt, all these things, and again, I've done videos on some of this stuff prior to, and some of it I've just done the research, and I've been like, okay, this is what we're talking about here. So, here, like I said, in the Americas, we have to look at and pay attention to the fact that things have changed from the so-called beginning. And things morph and mold into a new and carry on small portions of culture and things like that from other somewhat nations or groups over time. So even when we're looking at the biblical text, at that time, we're talking about the people, so-called Christians, or that religious aspect in general coming in and molding what was already there, prehistoric or antediluvian um, information, and different women and children being taken from different nations and groups, okay, autochthonous groups that were here already, and brought into that religion or religion, and brought into their customs. I'll say customs, right? Culture and customs. So, culture. I don't even like to use culture really, because once I did etymology on it, I don't like. But again, for people to be able to see, um, we can use it, for general purposes or whatever. Okay. So, so again, we're just looking at it like that. So again, when we're talking about Esther, she would have been an originally woman, or maybe even a native woman, because if you look at those different terms, it also kind of goes with a timeline from the earth being what in general people were at one point in time. They talked about people and used the term trees and lumber in history as well when they're really talking about people. So again, a lot of things are encoded into the story to look like one thing, but we're really talking about something else. Same thing with animals and things like that. We were actually possibly talking about groups of people, even coat of arms and things like that representing certain cultures and customs. So, anyways, that's why, again, we can see similar things going on within these different images and stuff that come from antiquity. Like things were kind of just molded in. Okay. So it says that and in ancient Egypt, and again, if you hear me use reference to ancient Egypt, every time I'm going to be talking about something that has to do with the Americas and all of the artifacts and things and the hidden things that are in the Americas that may pertain to a form of Egypt, which again, after doing my research, I feel that there was a form of, if not the first original ancient Egypt, would be representing the portions of that would have been here in the Americas at some point in time. So modern day Egypt would be what you see over there. So just like I think it is, always make reference to, I believe it's Jerusalem, Virginia. That's now Cortland, Virginia, is where Nat Turner was. Uh, yeah, and that was, I think that was prior to the one that they have over there now. That's supposed to be. Again, I'm just pointing it out. Okay. And it says, and in ancient Egypt represented immortality. In Judaism and uh, in Lulav, a closed frond of date palm is part of the festival of Sukkot. Oh, that remind me of segment. Because I think they had a festival or something to honor her, and I can't remember exactly when it is. But again, when you hear me talking about these things, we're just doing what someone that would be researching history does, looking into all aspects. Doesn't mean I have to believe or think necessarily everything that we read here. We're just digging through information. But again, the date palm, again, the Carolinas. Um, I think it's South Carolina that uh, tree is on the flag. But I think they said something about maybe changing it. I'm not sure if they have or not. A palm branch is awarded to victorious athletes in ancient Greece, and a palm frond or the tree itself is one of the most common attributes of victory personified in ancient Rome. In Christianity, the palm branch is associated with Jesus or Isis or, you know, Yeshua, Yehoshua. Triumphal entry on Palm Sunday, when, according to John's Gospel, they took palm branches and went out to meet him. 12 and 13, I don't know what it says, HCSB. Not sure what that's about. Additionally, the palm has meaning in Christian iconography, representing victory, i.e., the victory of the spirit over the flesh. Revelation 7 and 9. Since a victory signals an end to a conflict or competition, the palm developed into a symbol of peace, a meaning it can have in Islam. Again, in Islam, I also see, um, of course, we see it's Islam, but Psalm, I don't know. I just look at stuff weird like that sometimes. So it says the palm appears on several flags or seals representing countries or other places with the coconut palm associated with the tropics. Again, so this is an image of a girl in white um, with her palm. It says 1825 or 1905. And again, they say through 33. Well, anyways, I look at dates a little bit differently. So I don't know. Says the Assyrian religion, the palm is one of the trees identified as sacred, as a sacred tree. Um, I do think it's sacred. I do think it has something to do with DNA or genetics or genesis, right? Um, it just so happens that, I don't know, I feel sort of a connection to some of these areas because this is actually where my people are from, and a lot of my people, again, had the same names as some of the biblical figures. It just so happens. Um, and that's just to say what it said. Okay? Because again, I can see, I sense certain things, and, the ancestors do help guide. Um, so it is associated with the goddess Ishtar and is found on the Ishtar Gate. And now, I don't know why when I just read that, that makes me think about that. There's a place or something down in the Carolinas, and one of my soul siblings did a video on it a while back. And then I think I saw something on YouTube about it. I think it's like a grave or something with a door kind of thing, and it's supposed to be haunted. I think I seen it like on a haunted mystery channel or something. And it was about a lady, I think, that was locked in a tomb or whatever, and she was scratching it to her finger. They didn't find her until, I don't know, it was some strange storyline like that. I don't know if you guys live in that area or you know about it. Maybe you can drop it down there so we can look at that. In ancient Mesopotamian, the date palm may have represented fertility in humans. And again, it would be something would be to look up fertility, because we think that it, um, means one thing when it may mean something uh, different, or even a little bit more. It's just every time I do etymology, I get a more of an insight of a term. The Mesopotamian goddess Inanna, who had a part in the sacred marriage ritual, was believed to make dates abundant. Okay. Uh, Palm stems represented long life in the ancient Egyptians, and the god Ha was often shown holding a palm stem in one of his hands. The palm was carried in Egyptian funeral processes to represent the eternal life. The kingdom of Neri or Igbo used the omu, tender palm frond, to sacralize and restrain. Some argue the palm in the Parthian poem, Dragad Asuric, Drakati Asuric, I don't know, serves as a reference to the Babylonian faith. The palm was a symbol of Phoenician and appeared on Punic coins in ancient Greek. The word palm or phoenix was thought to be related to ethn, uh, ethnonym. Okay. So again, I think that, well, let's just see something real quick. In archaic Greece, the palm tree was a sacred sign of Apollo, and had been born under a palm in island of Delos. The palm thus became an icon. Da, da, da. Let's keep going. The palm became so closely associated with victory in ancient Roman culture that the Latin word palma could be used as a metonym, metonym for victory, and was a sign of any kind of victory. A lawyer who won his case in the forum would decorate his front door with palm leaves. The palm branches or tree became a regular attribute of the goddess, the goddess's victory. And when Julius Caesar secured his rise to sole power with the victory of Pharsalus, Pharsalus, a palm tree was supposed to have sprung up miraculously at the temple of Nike. Wow. The Greek counterpart of victory in Tralles, later known to Caesarea or Caesarea, okay, in Asia Minor. Um, anyway, the toga palmata was a toga ornamented with a palm motif. It was worn to celebrate a military triumph only by those who had previous triumphs. So again, it's funny because I was just thinking about this, like, because sometimes when I'm doing this type of research, I'll have like thoughts or visions of some sort or whatever, that tie things into me and have me going here and there, looking a little bit deeper, and it's just a sense of something like that, going, not necessarily this, but going on, at times. And since it said it's unknown or only the people that have had previous triumph would know, it's almost like a, maybe even being there in a spiritual realm or something, or not there. Um, the toga itself was the garment of civilians at peace and was worn by triumphator to mark his laying down of arms and cessation of war. To use the palm in this setting indicates how the original meaning of victory shaded into peace as the aftermath of victory. So let's see, coins issued under Constantine the first Christian emperor. So again, there must have been another type of emperor, right? There prior to, maybe cultural, and then the Christian emperor would be you know, custom, right? And his successor continued to display the traditional iconography of victory, but often combined with Christian symbols such as Christograms. The Roman senator Symmachus was, who tried to preserve Rome's religious tradition under Christian uh, domination, is pictured in the ivory diptych bearing a palm branch in the allegorical triumphant over death. So again, a lot of these things I sometimes look at as being some type of allegorical things. When it comes to a lot of things, okay, in antiquity, uh, when it comes to things of religious matter, um, historical. A lot of these things I think are in parables and allegorical, and again, always go a lot deeper than we see. And also, sometimes it feels as though these things are actually happening now or repeating themselves, and only some will be privy to these things going on, and some will be there will sense that these things are going on, in a sense, right? Um, let's see, or you may even be there, like it's funny when you start looking at things when it comes to so-called dreams and visions and all these things like that. Hades Myrtle. So again, Hades, or it reminds me of Hadetsa, or whatever her name is, I believe, from the biblical text. And then Myrtle reminds me again of the Myrtle Beach. And, it's just so many, you know, again, that's just the way I look at research. And then, because again, we know that his story sometimes lied or just manipulated or gave a false narrative or notion of things. And so, again, I think that we are in an age of information. Yes, we have been for a while, and that we are re examining these things for some reason. And it may be because they were actually talking about us that are here in these times. Going through some of these particular things, and sometimes you may be privy of these things if you're really paying attention, or those who have eyes to see and ears to hear. So it says something about the midrash. Notes the binding of four species, symbolizing the desire to unite four types of Jews in a service of God. So again, that's very interesting. Okay. All right. So what I want to do though, oh, Methuselah. And I was just looking at something about I was reading something about Methuselah the other day, and I just noticed for the first time that it's me through Selah. That kind of tripped me out just a little bit. Okay, tripped me out just a little bit. And even we're talking here in 1965 Judean date, palm seeds dated at around 2,000 years old. Just saying. You know, what could we really be talking about? So, yeah, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but let's just look at this part because this looks kind of interesting. In Christianity, the palm branch distributed during Psalm Sunday service originate in triumphal entry into Christ, of Christ into Jerusalem. Early Christians used the palm branch to symbolize the victory of faithful over enemies of the soul. Wow. As in Psalm Sunday, festival celebrating the triumphal entry of Jesus into Jerusalem. Many churches of mainstream Christian denominations include the Catholic, Lutheran, okay, you see them, distribute palm branches to their congregation during their Palm Sunday services. Um, let's see. Crosses and crucifix. And again, that always reminds me of Ishtar for some reason. Um, let's see. The Western Christian art martyrs were often shown holding palms frond as attribute, um, representing the victory of spirit over flesh. And it was widely believed that a picture of a palm on a tomb meant that a martyr was buried here or there. Okay, so anyways, I want to look at where we were because again, we do know at this time that again, um, there weren't that many people that supposedly came here from Africa. Um, many of you, most of you were already, your ancestors were already here. And this would be a form of the Holy Land, if not the original. Okay. And again, I just say it, I know what I feel. I just say it like that because, but I'm also just letting you know. Okay. So anyway, I want to look really quick. Mm, let's see. I want to look at, oh man, what did we do? No. Uh, want to look at Revelation 7 and 9. Mm, Oh, where did that B come from? Okay, okay. Let's see. I prefer Bible Club. I just noticed too that I say Bible really strange. Okay. All right, hold on one second. So I guess, oh yeah, this is after they were all marked. So let's see. You know, because what if, all right, apologies. Yeah, the or sealed, my fault. Um, so let's see. I'm trying to see something that might give a little bit more insight. The great multitude thrown before the Lamb. Mm-mm. Yeah, so this is basically where they're saying who all was marked, or I keep saying marked, but it's really sealed. So, so it says, "Do not harm the land." Okay, let's just go back to 7. For the great day of their wrath has come, and who can withstand it? Hmm. So it says the sixth seal, the terror. And they said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of the one seated on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of their wrath has come, and who is able to withstand it? Right? And after that, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds and the earth to prevent any wind from. Now, what was I just reading that was about a wind? I think it was something that was in that article. Maybe. Oh, oh, okay, okay, hold on. Okay, that just made me think about something. Okay, so, that just made me think about something. You know, 4 winds of the earth to prevent any wind from blowing on the land or the sea or any tree. Okay. I mean, I think that goes a little bit deeper, but I'm not gonna take that there right now. Then I saw another angel coming from the east, having the seal of the living God. He called out in a loud voice in the 4 angels who had been given power to harm the land and the sea. Okay. So again, also we're seeing, because again, land can also make reference to, uh, you know, just, I don't know. I mean, we could be talking about something like a calamity of with the land, um, or a hurricane or earthquake or a hurricane. But it could also be talking about, you know, given power to harm the land and the sea. So that could also be referencing to indigenous or whatever peoples, and it could also be talking about maritime groups. Um, Again, okay. Do not harm the land or the sea or the trees until we put a seal on the foreheads of the servants of God. Then he numbered them. Okay, the 144,000 of the tribes of Israel. And again, this is also making me think of just like a calamity or something also that may be coming because of um, certain things that may be, going on, uh, certain spiritual attacks in this warfare on certain groups of people. Um, and other things, those people, again, the people of these particular tribes possibly not being really privy to what's going on, and not really, I guess, doing the work of uh, their ancestors or the father. Again, I'm just saying each because different people are going to watch. So it, you know, I don't know, that makes me think of something, you know. Okay. And again, oh, you know what? The 12 things. For some reason I'm just thinking right now, wasn't it, I think it was 12 in Revelations. The woman that was clothed with the sun, with the moon at her feet, and the 12 thing, the 12 stars. I think for some reason, again, this is something I'm pretty sure, again, I can't say for sure, but again, this is what I think, that they represent the different uh uh tribes for some reason. That's just what it stands out to me. That's what my mind's eye tells me. And even, we see Asher here, but Asher always ties into Asheville, Astor, or Ishtar. It just all Asher. It all ties into that. That's where my mind's eye, I guess, goes when we're looking at that. And again, for me, you know, um, you know, I'm someone that necessarily, we'll just leave it like that. So again, Reuben and Gad and Manasseh would, again, I feel, even Naphtali, would possibly be. I have my little Civil War map right here above my desk, and it just showing the portion of the South with the Carolinas. Um, it's basically the South and the South ends of Illinois, Indiana, and so on. And again, I feel as though at one point in time I had figured out or discovered that where I think that these tribes would be connected to if they were in the Americas at one point in time, right? Because movement was going on, would be in that area, the Carolinas, Virginia, in that particular area. And if you look at town names, city names, counties, and things like that from now into antiquity, a lot of the things is very similar. If you look at the geography or the layout of the land, a lot of things are very uh, telling, we'll say. But I think that those tribes, again, have to do with that area um, at some point in time. And again, like I said, these uh, doing more on the family tree have shown me a lot of things. Like, again, I'm not sure if it was Reuben that was married to Tamar, but it just so happens that I think that that was one of the names in my family tree, Reuben and Tamar. Um, and I think that was actually as far back as I've gone, I guess, so far, um, that I've already, I guess, put in. But, um, anyways, one may say, well, how could you tell? But again, it's something else that's crying out from the soil, or even looking at us as the earth, in in being about uh, energy, frequency, and these particular things, and how we're just really not aware of like the full potential of a lot of things, including us and our minds and our our makeup and our DNA, or so-called things, just in layman's terms. That we're just really not 100% sure, and a lot of these faculties are coming back to us at this time, and some of us are able to go there, without going there. But when you do go there and you find these things, because again, a lot of things I see sometimes where I feel like I can relate to, or storylines, excuse me, in the biblical text feel kind of like real or whatever. Um, it was shocking for me to then find out that, again, like a lot of these names have been in the family tree for a very long time. And, you know, me seeing the timeline for the biblical text, especially, you know, uh, for the biblical text in general. And knowing that we didn't even really get, the Bible here until the 19 hundreds, where people could actually just purchase it on their own, it just makes me use my senses to say, So again, I don't happen to have a Bible from the 16, like an original 1611 that was made in 1611. And I think if you go on eBay or something, you'll have to spend $100,000 or something on one if you were able to find one that was legit, real, authentic from that time. So again, we have what we've been given to. Um, you could possibly go look up the timeline for the Bible and when it was in America, because again, the Algonquin Bible was the first Bible in the Americas, and so again, that's a pretty cool timeline to look at. So yeah, so yeah, this is talking about them being sealed. Um, excuse me, Levi, Benjamin. Oh, I think Benjamin was another one that I feel resonates with that area. But anyways. Oh, wait a minute. Look, I'm all just passing it up. Okay. All right. So anyway, I think that's enough. I talked a lot. This is like a longer video, and I've been trying not to do them this long. So again, I think I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about, I think, the actual Mesopotamian or Assyrian portion of this. In a second. There was another article, and I think this one we're just going to skim over, but I was just trying to compare and correlate, because the scripture about them having the palms is what brought me to look back at that other time and see if it resembles anything. And so again, if customs and cultures blend and turn into something else, then what are we really talking about then? I will see you guys later. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and to join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained for more alternative information from not just me, but others that share information there on the daily. And I'll see you guys soon.